Hello everyone, Isaac Schroeder, Division Agronomist with Superior Ag, back with another Agronomic Insight. Today we're out evaluating some lodged corn. The storm system that come through this week actually knocked some of this over, so out looking at it here. So there's three different ways that corn can lodge. One would be actually Greensnap, like this plant right here, and Greensnap's going to happen as the corn is rapidly growing. That meristematic tissue in the node is going to be rapidly expanding and rapidly growing. And while it's rapidly growing, it's not real strong. So as the plant matures, those nodes are going to start getting lignin in them. They're going to toughen up, and it's going to be more resilient to green snap. But anywhere from that V5 to R1, R2 stage, the plant's going to be prone to green snap, and that's typically going to happen somewhere in the region around the ear. The next way a corn plant can actually lodge would be with the stalk actually bends. So right in between the node, the stalk will bend like that, and it'll just kind of pinch. It's not actually going to snap off because it's not in the node, but it'll pinch, and that's going to cause restrictions from nutrient and water flow up the stalk. The third way is actually what most of this is, and that would be root lodging. So when a corn plant root lodges, it actually pulls part of the roots out and kind of leans over. This can happen for multiple different reasons. One would be if the soils are really saturated and we get wind. It can actually just pull the roots up out of the ground. Another thing that can happen with root lodging is we could have insect damage, and that could potentially compromise the roots to where it would pull out easier. And then kind of the third thing is if we planted in adverse conditions, where if we had compaction or something and the roots didn't go down like we wanted them to, that could potentially make a hybrid more susceptible to root lodging. The last thing, different hybrids are going to have different susceptibilities just because of their rooting profile. So some are going to have a deep penetrating root and they're going to hold on better, as versus one that's got kind of more of a shallower fibrous root. It's going to be more prone to lodging. So impacts to yield at this stage in the game, this late in the game, root lodging is going to be pretty detrimental because this is going to have a hard time standing back up. Whereas if it's early season, a lot of times it'll gooseneck and it can actually stand back up, and it will have fairly minimal impact on yield. Snapping is always a bad thing. If it snaps early enough in the season, sometimes we can go ahead and put another ear on at a lower node. If it snaps below the ear, if it snaps above the ear, this plant here will go ahead and make an ear, but it's going to be reduced because of the amount of photosynthate it can catch. And then if we pinch, we're definitely limiting the amount of nutrients and water that flows up the stalks, so it's going to have a somewhat of an impact on yield also. So if you got any questions, please contact your local Superior Ag agronomist. Thank you.